Call of Duty is a mess. Leaks for Modern Warfare 2 Remastered and Modern Warfare 4 are both exciting and pissing off fans. The Black Ops 4 marketing campaign has begun extremely strangely, and World War 2 was not nearly as good as it should have been. A large amount of the community are upset with how Sledgehammer Games and Activision handled what should have been an amazing return to the spotlight for COD. I'm not saying World War 2 is terrible. In fact, the multiplayer at least is really quite fun. However, the game lacks individuality and the post-launch content has been scarce. Admittedly, the Shamrock and Aura update has improved massively on what has come before, and it's even roped me back into the game. On the other hand, World War II's DLC season has been very bad, especially for Nazi zombies, which is utterly dead in the eyes of the fans, and the fact that the multiplayer and campaign both lack player choice is just inexcusable. The majority of the game's progression is still locked behind RNG, and although it's more manageable than some of the supply drop systems in the past, I still see it as an awful mechanic. For those of us that enjoyed Infinite Warfare, I fucking love that game, it was so goddamn good. It's pretty obvious how drastic the drop in player choice is. Although generally hated, the XO movement gave players many different, interesting ways to attack foes. Supply drop items could be earned without just grinding salvage, as there were challenges you could complete, and prestiging meant more than just showing how many hours you'd played. It gifted the player classic unlock tokens to get fan favourite guns that could only be unlocked in this way. Furthermore, one thing that loads of people bash World War II for is the lack of unique maps. It really does make a difference to not just have the same 3 choices every single game. However, the thing that for me really sets the two latest COD games apart is the difference in player customization. Infinite Warfare has probably the most diverse class system, building on the Pick 10 layout from Treyarch and also the specialist abilities from its predecessor. Weapon and score streak variants were taken straight from Advanced Warfare, except they were actually balanced. In each of these cases, the mechanisms were expanded and improved upon, without making it too confusing. In contrast, World War II babysits the player. The amazing amount of mix and match that we had before has disappeared. It's really kind of disappointing that there's no reason to do anything with divisions. There's no trading attachments for extra perks, or trading perks to beef up your attachments. Every class comes down to picking whatever division modifies the weapon you want to use, slapping a couple of attachments on it, picking a pistol, putting an attachment on that, choosing either a lethal or tactical grenade, because of course it makes sense for having one of each to be tied to using shotguns, and finally only being able to use one perk. If I want to have a bayonet and also not be affected by flash grenades, I can't, and this lack of class customization really ruined World War II for me. I don't understand why they had to change the beloved class system so much, to the point where I feel I have to use hustle in every single class, just so that I can do something as fundamental as reloading while sprinting. It is a real shame that World War II is only improving now, because it's completely irrelevant. Obviously it still has a decent player base, but to put COD back on top would require even more modes, which have been leaked, so I am kind of hopeful, and also more free maps like Shipment. People have said that a Battle Royale mode has been found by data mining, and honestly I'm not sure how I feel about this. It wouldn't be surprising though, considering how popular games like Fortnite have become. Also, COD Online has a Battle Royale mode, so it's not like COD is going to avoid it at all costs. Honestly, I think it's just a matter of waiting to see what happens. I want to talk a bit about upcoming CODs now, as I mentioned earlier. Black Ops 4 is already causing boners across the globe, even though all we've seen is some old footage, a logo and some dudes welding. It's clear that Activision are banking on Treyarch to save COD, which probably explains why Black Ops 4 is releasing so early. They've spent more than a decade releasing CODs in early November, and this year it's coming a month before. I'm happy to see a new COD from Treyarch, but I think people gave Black Ops 3 far too much credit. The campaign was probably the worst I've ever witnessed, and the multiplayer wasn't really anything special. Honestly, zombies was all that kept it alive, which is clear due to the fact that zombies got extra DLC. I kind of want the season pass to include campaign expansions too for Black Ops 4, as I think this is something that's never really happened, and it could be an interesting way to go. To be honest though, the biggest problem I see so far is just the ambiguity in the marketing. Loads of people are arguing whether the game is going to be in the future, but I doubt it after the approach they took into 2017. Also, there was that really old leak ages ago that seemed to confirm that the next Treyarch title would be modern day. If you don't remember, it was basically a job opening on their website, looking for people with extensive knowledge of modern weaponry. I think a Vietnam game would be cool, but who knows. We'll just have to wait until the reveal live stream that's coming later in the year. Anyways, the biggest mess of all recently is Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. I find it low-key hilarious how excited people got over a completely unexpected leak for a remaster supposedly coming next month. I mean, the leaks are credible, but still everything just seemed a bit strange to me. Like how a fan favourite game was going to be $25 or something, and have no marketing campaign this close to launch. Not having a multiplayer would also be a massive mistake for Activision, and also handing the rights to somebody other than Raven Software is a weird choice, as they worked on Modern Warfare Remastered and have proven to be quite useful in other Call of Duty games as well. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this is all fake, but don't hold me to it, because leaks for COD are usually freakishly accurate. Even as I was planning this video, leaks for Modern Warfare 4 came out. If these turned out to be true, I'll be kind of sad, because I really want a Ghosts 2. But I guess they're just doing Modern Warfare 4 for name recognition, because they really need the sales. I think that's about all I have to say anyway. If you did watch all the way through and enjoyed the video, or even just found it interesting, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Maybe even recommend the channel to someone else. This is my first video on this new channel, so I'd be thankful as fuck for any support. I'm currently trying to sort out a way to do live commentaries and longer recording sessions, so hopefully I'll have some more edit focused gameplay videos and things like that on the channel soon. Currently I'm playing a lot of Overwatch and, just like every other person on the planet, Fortnite, so don't expect this channel to only be COD. But yeah, thanks, and I'll try and upload some more content soon.